Saturday morning, and I'm really grateful to the organizing committee. I'm working with these guys for this my third meetup. I've watched all of them and presented all of them. It has been a very vibrant community. So today's topic is going against a human tendency. How can you stop thinking? That's the topic all about. Don't make you think. Okay. And if you see the subtitle says common sense approach to web and mobile usability. So anybody's guess what is this about? When I say don't make you think, what is coming in your mind? UX.
Don't make the user think.
What's that?
Don't make your users think.
Don't make your users think. Why not?
Self-explaining.
Not let them apply ideas of this.
Okay.
Not let them become your ideas.
Okay.
Let the site gives you more information.
Site will give you more information. Okay. Is more good? Is more good?
It's more good.
Is lot of information good?
Not only.
Not always. Okay. So I think I see fairly different type of answers here. Okay. Let's get back to what we're going to do. For that, my introduction. So I am a software architect, innovator, inventor, with more than 10 years experience working on various things. You see here. I'm also quite involved in filing patents for new ideas. Many patents are, pending approval there. I'm a part of user experience group in Avaya. We are quite active. We are not doing it full time. We are passionate group of people. I have a lot of interest in various things. You can look at my profile at LinkedIn and Twitter if you want to follow me. I tweet once in a while very interesting stuff about various things. So let's look at this. I think this was there in the agenda. If you probably feel familiar to you, all of you are into software development, right? All of you are either developer or tester or somebody you are related to software, right? So what happens is we all the time hear all this conversation. Average user will never do that. What is an average user? When you hear somebody saying average user will not do that, what does it mean?
They know at least the basics.
Who knows the basics?
Anything like say who is something for the user. Who knows how to use it. Okay, like it's a minimal average user of
A frequent user who wants to avail a basic service, which particular product is providing, that will be the average user, and those who are actually taking the most of the benefit who want to be the advanced user.
I mean, say user is a user. What is the average user? Can you take 10 users and make an average out of it and say it's average user?
My perception was it's more about average user. If you are providing a cab service, those who just want to avail a cab service, just taking the day, boarding it.
If you want to have a cab service, you want to avail.
Right.
It's not different between you and
encouraging that. So that was just my perception of that.
okay. Most of the users. Okay. To me, when I am in a room defending one of my features, I say I want to do like this, and somebody says average user will not do that. What rings in my mind is that can never do that. Because when I say average user will not do that, so you will think of fine, I have done my research, and that's what I'm saying. I have a lot of done research, market analysis, and I am an expert. That's why I'm saying average will not do that. What does it mean is the person you try to just defend it, saying that okay, it will never be a good idea because I think it's not a good idea. Okay, what I am is projecting it to the entire world. I perceive the world as what I am, right? And since I don't like the idea, I say okay, nobody will do it. Make sense? That's exactly what happens in any of these feature discussion, any of this bug discussion, when you say okay, you want to do this. You want to increase the user experience, make it better. We can do user testing review post beta. Usability testing is never a priority because of various reasons. It takes time. It results into a lot of changes in your UI because your UI is working a certain way. If you want to change it, it takes time. Consulting is more important for everybody, not anymore. Okay, it used to be 15-20 years back, 10 years back when CLI were the main things which you used to use, right? Or maybe some very simple interface, point-and-click interface were there, but they were not as complex as today. Today things are changed. Today, one of the most important way to provide input is by your fingers, by gesture, by a lot of other things which are not there before. Also, there are many people who are coming on board today and using your applications which are not technical savvy, who don't know what is going inside, right? I mean, right now applications are all using point and click, touch, swipe and all those things. Anybody can use it. You don't have to be a technical person to know how to use any application. This is a typical one. How many of you have heard this in any of your discussions? Sure? So, next sense, right? Say, okay, fine, this is what our target audience is. Why should you spend time into, making it more user friendly? Right? Then, functionality is more important. Obviously, functionality is more important. But if you add a very good Ferrari engine into a completely bad looking car, or a car which is completely broken from outside, probably you will not trust the car. You will not sit in the car, even the engine is very good. When we look at any of the entities, you look at the outside cover. You have been given a gift into a very crumbled piece of paper. You will say what's this one. I don't think there's anything interesting inside. But if a gift is in a box which is well wrapped with a lot of cellophane and everything, you will feel good about it. And you open it and you may be disappointed afterwards. That's it. Everybody likes pull down menu. That's a typical one. Have you heard this in any of your reviews? Who is this everybody? That's a single person who says this. Right? Because when you project it to outside, when you project to a group, it carries more weight, right? So the person who is maybe looking at your feature and say, fine, if everybody likes it, then what's my problem? Let me go with full analysis, right? So these are the technical concepts which normally have. Now I have blank spots. Let me help. Let you help me fill these spots. Have you heard anything similar of what has happened in your projects? Have you heard anything like this? Anything else you have heard similar which can I fill it there?
Yeah, I am sure people will like to do this.
I'm sure people like to do this. Okay. What else?
It's a rare case.
It's a rare case. That's a typical one. Okay, I like that. So I'll fill that here. So what you said, it's a rare case scenario. Okay, sounds good. What else?
Everyone follows the documentation.
Absolutely, that's a classic one. Okay, you expect people to read the documentation. We expect people, users to read documentation. Okay, that's great. So this is a gem. Last one is a gem. We expect users to read documentation. Guess what? Nobody reads that. Nowadays, and that's the reason I'm really inspired by how many of you have bought Apple product and unboxed it? Any of the Apple product? iPad, iPhone, iPod. How much documentation do you have? A small leaflet, some folded leaflet, let's say it will take you maybe 2 minutes, and all it says is, connect power, press this button and follow the instructions. Does not say anything else apart from that. That's also in graphics. That's about it. Why is that important? Make it simpler. Absolutely. From user point of view, it is much simpler to understand how to use the product. How to start using the product, that's very important. If it takes you 2 days, maybe or a few hours to start using the product, you have lost a lot of interest in that. You already have a feeling, okay, it's very complex. So, we'll talk about user experience. You need to have definition, any of the conclusion. Definitions are very important. So, from user experience, this is what user experience is defined by various bodies, right? So, as per ISO standard, user experience is a person's perception and response the results from the use and anticipated use of product, system or service. There are a lot of keywords here. We are talking about perception and response. User experience differs from person to person. Okay, what is your user experience for me is not your user experience for you guys. It changes every time you have user changing, user experience is changing. And that's the reason it's very important to do user experience reviews. I'll come to that later. There are other definitions, but finally the other one is the factors which influence user experience are system, user and context of use. These are very, very powerful terms because how to use the system is very important. Okay, if somebody is expert in, let's say, CLI, somebody is a script master, you never look at UI because that makes things very simple. He knows how to do next thing. You do not look at pull down menus or point and clicking things. Somebody who is not well versed in that would just hate the CLI. But CLI is very powerful, it can be scripted very well. Okay. So here when we talk about user experience, we are not talking about graphical user experience. User experience can be anything, graphical, CLI or otherwise. Make sense? So just a little bit marketing about what we are doing right now in Avaya, Bangalore. I am part of user experience team. And why I am doing this is, this can be a template for what you can do in your company. Right? User experience is an ongoing process and you don't have to hire dedicated people to do user experience. Anybody can do that. Right? So what we have is a team of individuals who are passionate about user experience and usability. So we like to have better user experience, we like to help other people get better user experience. That's why it's on the team. It's like a virtual team. And we do user experience reviews, we help people, we give feedback. Once in a while we also create reusable components whenever we get. So now some of the things we do is collaborating on user experience, researching user margins, looking for ideas, white papers and so on. Helping better icon images, design some products. How do we help a team? We do Avaya tracking, prototyping, user experience reviews, testing, zero consideration. Now this is a different topic because user experience itself, we need to wireframing. Wireframing is a big science and art both, right? Wireframing is very, very powerful technique through which you can make people understand how your user experience is. So without going into detail, I'll get into today's topic. This is based on a book called Don't Take This Thing, Street Pro. Street Pro is supposed to be one of the best guys who have done such a user experience. As well as if you have, you can spare around 2.5 to some rupees to order it on Amazon.com and the alternate edition, you will not regret it. Okay, it's like it's going to change the way you think about user experience. Typical thing. How many of you have taken, let's say, more than 10 flights in your lifetime? 10 plus flights. Okay. So what happens when you see, you automatically, without even thinking, the way you drive car, automatically you put your hand like this, you buckle yourself, because you might have to think twice what you need to do, right? So buckle yourself and then announcement says that, okay, this is how you, for safety instructions announcement. Do you ever pay attention? No. Just goes out of your, like this landing like this and just goes away. Why is that? You are aware, okay, that's right, you are aware, you are too used to it. So, there is no more new information. Whatever was given to you first few times, that's more than enough to understand what to do next. Let's say it's just an emergency, anyway there is a lot of confusion. So even if there is an emergency, you won't be able to do anything anyways. Somebody has to guide you. Unless you are trained, you are not a commando or something, you do something and something goes really wrong. Right? In this type of cases, you might probably just switch off and then you have to follow the instructions. So this is how this, just one on this, and I didn't know it is that complex. So these are the guiding principles we need to look at from user experience point of view. So we have the first, he has written some law of usability in his book. First law of usability, don't take this thing, in which also I talk about how we really use it. I am going to break some perceptions here, some myths here of how actually you think users will use the web and how they actually use it. Wilbur designing 101, designing for scanning, not reading. When you are driving on a highway at the high speed, 80, 90, 100, and you see some billboards, big billboards, right? Is there anything interesting about those billboards? What are they doing? How are they designing these billboards?
Large fonts.
Large fonts. Okay. What is word? Very few words. I mean, they have like some 50 by 50, 50 by 50 area. Why not fill it with a lot of information? They have paid a lot of money. Absolutely. People will not stop there and read the big words, thinking of it very interesting to go through it again completely, right? Okay, let's talk about any different news site. Okay.
You are asking
Yeah.
think of it now.
Absolutely.
And after by looking at image itself, you can really
Absolutely. Just one symbol and you know, okay, what to do next, right? And then you can give incremental details about, okay, what to do next, right? So first you say, okay, cafe company coming in, 10 kilometers. Then you say, after maybe 2 kilometers before, okay, you have to do 2 kilometers. And maybe towards time you can talk about some marketing scheme, okay, one-on-one, three. So that's the billboard design, we'll talk about it. Moment needless words, the art of not writing for the web. So web, when you write now, everybody is a writer because everybody can write a blog. But when you write, you tend to get carried away. You write a lot of words, right? You don't think everybody is reading that. So let's look at that. These are some of the findings of the gold mine. These are 2 websites that come up with who are, can use a case study user experience. What's wrong in these? Can you figure out what's going on here?
There is Salon,
Salon doesn't give you much information just by looking at it that it says.
So it says headhunters, hairstyling. As soon as you talk about headhunter, probably some recruiter agency will come in. So why is headhunter? And is it something like, are the salon for human or for dogs? I mean, I don't know about it.
There should be more pictures in it.
What's that?
There should be some more pictures in it.
More pictures.
Which relates to.
And what are these bullets doing there, man? I mean, I don't understand this at all. I mean, these bullets are just completely out of the place.
The background pictures of the
Background pictures of the beach. Probably are they doing this,
haircutting is
haircutting the beach or something? So it's like nothing is going right. What about this one? Okay, so art center, probably you can think about abstract art or something, but what's going on? So when you read it says shop as a Riverside Art Center, are they actually selling art or what are they selling? And why is this lady, painting something on her face? That's abstract art. So you got the idea. We have seen many sites like this. There are hundreds of sites. Web is written with sites like this, but you have no idea what's going on. So what happens is you lose precious seconds to understand what's going on, and that precious seconds are enough to put you off. Okay, when you use your application for the first time, you have to catch attention. Attention span of user is going down like anything. After there's all this invention of touch screen and things like that, you need instant gratification. Okay, that's the psychology of the things, right? You have to be up and running within like 5 seconds. How many times it happens that you try to load the web page, it takes like little more than 5 seconds. You probably just move on. Don't do anything. That's what we're looking at. So here, what happens is, what's the most important thing I should do if I want to make my site or app easy to use? So there are many things which people follow. Let's say any of your pages, main pages should not be more than 2 clicks away, right? This is one of the things. Or speak a user's language, be consistent. These are simple things you have been hearing all the time in your career. Okay, make it as simple as possible. Be consistent. Don't use too many fonts. Have consistent CSS or things like that. Simple things don't be anything. if you are making user think, just summarize everything. Why? Look at some examples here. First example is this allows some buttons with some text. First button says jobs. You are very sure when you click on that, it takes you to a job portal or ask you some information about where you can apply for job. Second one is employment opportunity. Okay, I think it still makes sense. Let me go and click on this anyways. Third one is Joborama. And here you think sometime I should find, I think this is not the site I am looking for. Next one. We are always doing this by using fancy CSS. Sometimes you have to go to the basics. Okay. So first one is report. It looks like a button. It can be clicked. It's asking for this to be clicked, right? It's there, okay, shouting. Click me, click me, click me. But third one is not. Third one you don't even know whether it's a link or when I click on that what will happen. Will it show a pop-up saying that okay, this is what you should do or what is going to happen? Okay. So I put here one simple sentence here, every page of 6 elements is like having good lighting and store. So it makes everything seems better. A store which has a lot of stuff, any supermarket, does not have good lighting, you will not venture out a lot and you will not start buy a lot of things. You probably will get bored and come out very fast. That's the reason people have harsh lighting. Harsh lighting makes you move. In the same way, you have this type of things where it has to be obvious. So you have 3-4 columns of text. What you think is this. You go to left side menu, go to it, like the obedient style, and on the second column, go to it like this, finish it off, third column, finish it off, fourth column, finish it off. Never happens like this. It happens this way. Have you ever visited any site like Flipkart, Amazon or any site? I mean, do you actually look at the entire thing? You look at this entire thing, it takes you 1 second for something to grab your attention. You find it very, very interesting, you just go click it. That's about it. And this is not something which anybody is pushing up. This is what they did was, so this guy, Steve Crook, he hired a lot of people and installed a camera. Okay, like a small camera, which will take this, and the camera tracks the eye movement. Okay. How is your eye, being changing the eye position and the ball movement, right? And that's a result of that. Whenever, and it's a general thing. It's not like average user in this case. Everybody does the same thing except few people who really are reading some article seriously, right? If you have some article you are reading, you have to read that obviously. So this is something which you need to look at. Something called satisficing. There's a phenomenon called satisficing. Satisficing says that decide on and pursue a course of action which will satisfy the minimum requirements necessary to achieve a particular goal. As in, how fast you can satisfy your needs. Okay, it actually applies to everything possible. Again, I mean, there are a lot of terms from psychology here because this guy is a researcher and he has put a lot of terms. And these are all human tendencies. And you need to understand this little bit, you need to understand psychology a little bit to understand how the user will. Okay, user is also human like us, right? So, let's say, to summarize, this is how easily and how quickly you can satisfy your needs. Your need is look at something interesting and then do some more research, right? Instead of venturing out and looking at everything possible. Okay. Any questions on that? So, what you do with Gilbert design, right? We discussed about it a little bit. Take advantage of conventions. Don't venture out too much from the conventions. Don't try to create new conventions. Conventions are very, very important. Okay. You have traffic science is one of the classic examples of what conventions can do. Right? And think about, okay, can few of you tell me a classic traffic sign? What are the traffic signs you are used to? Yeah, nobody follows in Bangalore, but yeah, that's what it's happening. Red light, green light, no entry, speed bumper. Speed bumper. Okay, fine. I don't say it anywhere, it's pretty interesting. What do we do in Bangalore? No power. Okay, so these are common traffic signs if you have come to understand them from the childhood, right? These are conventions which are not going to change. Other common conventions. Sign outside washroom. Think about what it can do, what the disaster can do if you change the sign. Conventions are very, very important. Okay. Create effective visual hierarchy. We'll talk about it today. Break values into clearly defined areas to make it obvious what's applicable. Eliminate distractions. Don't add a lot of things which are not needed. Okay. So we'll talk about UI design sometime if we get time. Format content to support scanning. So what is not here? Your content has to be formatted to support the second one, not the first one. This is exactly what you should be doing. If you want more user to spend more time on your page, and that results into reading your stuff, buying stuff, clicking on something. This will obviously result into revenue. Right? Look at this also. Stop sign is one of the typical conventions which are common across the world. No matter where you go, you have this hexagon, 150 octagon. Okay, and this is not going to change anywhere. Maybe the language is changing. So here also, if you are, I'm not sure what language is probably Japanese, but if you are here, you can still figure out the stop sign just because of the state of this sign. Right? Things like this you need to follow. The most important thing, make it as big as possible, then less important, and then less important. Same thing here. Computer book. So if you are in a section has to have this properly. Right? So if you are in a book section and you don't highlight anything here and nothing is highlighted this side, you have no idea where are you going. Right? Here as well. So this is a typical thing, these guys have got it right for like 100 years back. Newspapers, if you want to look at user experience, look at newspapers. The biggest story, the most prominent story will have the biggest text, the biggest headline, right? And it will be on the front page. It will not be somewhere hidden in the last like fourth page. So whatever you want to user to grab attention to, you make it as prominent as possible, bring it to the front page. Okay, which one will you rather read? Which one will you rather scan? So you go through this or will you go through this? Right one, right? Why would you do that?
Due to the title.
It has a title, it has sections, subsections, whatever, bullet points, lot of white spaces.
We clearly get to know what we are going to look at.
Absolutely. And this also helps you, let's say, just give an example of one page, right? There are multiple sections. You may not be interested in all sections, you can actually skip from here to here. In this case, you don't know where the sections are starting, you cannot skip anything. Right? So it does not, fulfill the requirement of scanning. This one fulfills, this one does not. Right? So look at this one. These are typical examples which you should be doing. This one is quite bad. Top level, second level, third level is quite bad. This is certainly very good. Where you have prominent sizing difference between the headings. This one is very bad. This one is better because here you don't know. This guy is what is this? This is about this heading or this something else. Right? You have to keep it clear. Here, this one. So you have bullets, right? But bullets they are very they are not separated by white space. In this case, they have. Can somebody read this for me? Any volunteers?
The following questionnaire is designed to provide us with information that will help us improve the site and make it more relevant to your audience. Please select your answers from the drop-down menus and radio buttons below. Okay. The questionnaire should only take you 2 to 3 minutes to complete.
Okay, thanks for your patience. I won't torture you too much. So, what is the script saying? If you look at this, what is the script? Take a survey, help us. Okay. This says, it basically says that it will take you 2 to 3 minutes to do a survey. This entire thing will take you maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And finally, what is your objective? To get more people to take survey. After reading this, probably you should forget about it. I won't want to take, don't want to take something. Right? That's a critical bit. The following questionnaire is designed to provide us information, blah blah blah. First sentence is just introducing happy talk. I know what a survey is for. All I need is what help us. Okay. And anyone is ready to help you if you ask for it. And show me they understand that I am doing that in favor by filling it out. Okay, help us make the site better. Instead of saying, all this happy talk. Nobody has time for happy talk unless it's close relative or you talk from. Okay. Please select your answer and drop down menu radio button. Everybody knows what is drop down radio button. Why to make it more, it's quite obvious. We don't do again, reinforce that what's the radio button, what's the drop down. Questionnaire should take 1 to 3 minutes. Relevant information at the bottom of this form, you can choose to leave and stuff like that. This session of no use to me at this point, it belongs at the end of the questionnaire, where I can act on it. Right? In the beginning, if you ask all these things, and you probably towards the end, anyways, you will ask again. So there's no point putting it here in the first one. And then if you have comments or concerns that require a response, please contact. Again, these things have no connection with the exact thing you are asking the user to do. That is taking a survey and helping us. So this is what it gets summarized to. Short and sweet. It has every information what you see here, and user will read this and probably take a survey. Right? This helps us improve the site by 2 minutes from this section to this survey. Note if you have comments or concerns that require response. Don't use this form, please contact customer service. And there's a link. Click on that. It's a convention. Again, it's a convention. Well-known convention. When you click on the link, blue text and underline, you are going to be taken to a site. Or there is some place where you can give more feedback. So the difference here is this was 103 words. Okay. Same information is shortened to 34 words, and that's why you had pressure writing in your schools. Anybody is who can approve? Anybody liked doing pressure writing ever? It has a lot of real world examples actually, real world usage, and that's where you can make usability better. You have long error messages, right? We are all culprit of that. You write very, very long error messages. Doesn't make any sense to the user who does not know what's going inside the system. You say, okay, this component cannot connect to this component. There is some problem with the interface. The exception there, file not found exception, or some other weird exception. What will the user do about it? What you need to tell user is, okay, this, exactly, there is some error, and I'm not trying to hide the error. I show you the error, and then okay, this is the way you recover from there. This is the plan of action you will take. If you cannot recover from there, then contact customer service.
Actually, writing essay was still manageable, but I always feared those questions when it says summarize. So at least in the exam it was there in Hindi, they will give one page and then the summarize.
No, we're talking about pressure writing, not essay writing. Pressure. Pressure writing, pressure is a concise form of, so you have, let's say, 500 words, you concise it to 50 words.
Okay, yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing is things you need to get right: street signs and breadcrumbs. Designing navigation. Navigation is something which can play a lot of role in any of the UI you design. Right? Feedback to your web design, the importance of getting people off on the right foot. As in, how do you start people to, as soon as possible, you get the people to understand where they are. Why are street signs important? Why do you have in every mall you have something called "you are here" or some sort of map?
Just to plot ourselves in the map.
See, you may probably think, okay, this is for people who don't understand what's the layout and maybe they forget about it. That's not the case. Sometimes you are just too tired, your brain is shut off, you just want to understand, okay, how do you exit from there? And you end up going into the map and finding out your way of using the map. Okay, so once in a while you use this, and when you use this, you hand the more authority of defining this, something like this is there and I really like it. So here, this is another example of a city website taken from XKCity. It's one of the sites you can subscribe for. It's one of the sites for this type of nerdy cartoons. So this guy is saying that he goes to a website, university website, to register for a course. What you see on the university site is campus photo slideshow, alumni in the news, promotions, and blah blah blah. All these things which are not anything to do with what he wants to do. People go to the site looking for these information which they never find. List of faculty phone numbers and emails, campus address, application forms, academic calendar, and so on. They are there, but they are all hidden in some labyrinth. They are not there on obviously. So, and then one thing that is common is full name of the school. This is going to be very, very common. Okay. So top 4 plausible excuse for not spelling out the big picture on the home page. We don't want to need to make this obvious, right? When something is very obvious, don't want. After people have seen the explanation once, they find it annoying. These are the typical examples of not spelling out the big picture, as in not giving the prominent thing enough due respect on the page. Anybody who reads our site will know what it is. That's not the case anymore. If you are a student who is in university, anyways you are stuck with the site. You don't have any option. But let's say you have multiple sites. You have options like Snapdeal, Flipkart, Amazon, and 10 different things. You probably use the one which is most user friendly. That's what our advertising is for. So they expect that users will look at your advertising in newspaper and otherwise, and you know exactly what the site is for. Now you actually, this analogy, you can think about software. You will think that people who want to use it will anyways figure it out. That's not the case. Make sure you got them right. The farmer and the common should be friends. Why? Most argument about usability and rest of time and how to avoid it. Let's look at this. So this is a typical thing which is taken from Oklahoma, Oscar Hammerstein. One man likes to push a plow, the other likes to chase a cow, but that's not no reason why they can't be friends. Okay, so these two men can be friends and they can do something really interesting. So let's look at this. I take a discussion in what happens in our later discussions. So we have multiple role players here. We have Kim the product manager, Ravi from marketing, Bob the developer, Caroline the designer. So Caroline makes a suggestion. We could use a pull down menu for the product used. This guy, what's going in mind? I just hate pull down menus. I should not. People don't like pull down. My father won't even go near a site if it uses pull downs. See what's getting manifested and what's coming out. Every different things. So she says, okay, fine. Well, I don't think most people mind them, and they will save us a lot of space. Besides, have you got any better idea? Why are you saying this? You have better ideas, speak up. Don't just say people don't like pull down menus. So then what happens? So then Rick attempts to who is Rick? Rick is the marketing guy, right? The marketing guys are always full of ideas, but they seldom add value. So do we know if there's any research data on pull downs? So now they're talking about research data. Okay. So then Bob places developers trump card, right? Developers are bought, right? So I think there might be a problem using pull down on the ASP pages from our remote servers. now nobody can say anything. So we have here Kim the project manager. Project manager is like, man, I hate my life. I don't know what to do. These guys are just messing around. So what does everybody think? Should we try using pull down menu? Okay. No response. They are just blank face. 2 weeks later. Did you ever make a decision about pull down? By this time, Bob would have already had pull down menu. Okay, it's implemented. It's in the production. Probably it's gone beta. Now they say, okay, fine, people are using it. Let's not check it. It's a typical use case which happens in everybody's life. All of us have probably faced this. So, these are things that are red flags. Whenever you hear something like this, you question, what do you mean by everybody likes? The average user will. Nobody will. Most people would. Turns out, most of these will be one single person, or maybe 1 or 2% group of people. If somebody is saying like this, probably there's no market research done, and you have no idea what's going on. So they're typical, you can probably take a printout of the slides and stick it to your place, and then you'll never forget those things. You'll right away know what's going on, how do you ask more questions, right? See, basically, if you look at this scenario, this role play, Bob basically is doing this just because he does not want to, completely derail himself. He's doing something important. Doesn't want to spend too much time into doing something totally different. Okay, he has his own perception of how things should be. He has his own ideas about how to implement it. Everybody is right in this case. Okay, nobody is wrong. But finally, it's all about how do you bring user-friendly product in the market, and that's why everybody has to work together. So yeah, in any of the reviews, you need to. These are red flags.
Actually, how it should have been done.
That's a different session. So I'm just trying to make you aware of. These are the things which if it's then subconscious mind, you will probably do counter questioning, right? You will, or probably you will look at a different perspective. So other items which we have not covered today, these are things which I have not covered. Usability testing, why did we do it sooner syndrome, right? Let's often keep it simple. So we have, how much time do I have today? 10 minutes more. Okay. And designing for mobile devices is solve trade-offs and accessibility. So these are things, so let me talk a little bit about this, right? I have around 10 minutes. But yeah, if you have any questions before that, I can take those questions and I can cover this.
Where do we get these market research data? We keep speaking about it, right?
Yes.
Everybody, so don't use any generic terms. Everybody uses it, nobody uses it.
Yeah.
So how do I know that, what should be the right one to do?
See, look at the user base, right? Let's say a framework, say jQuery, right? As soon as I talk about jQuery, nobody will say, okay, jQuery is bad because a lot of people are using it. There's a lot of market base, there's a lot of user support. If you need help, you will go to Stack Overflow get help. There is no problem with that, right? Because you'll always get help, you don't have to get stuck anywhere. But if I say the XCJS, for example, XCJS is also a well-known framework, but it's paid. Even we are using XCJS, it's a marvelous framework, but you don't have, it's not free, so it's not too much user base. So there are trade-offs all the time. And when you look at market research data, you look at how many users, is there any open source community, is there any community which is helping you, how are you going to get help? Because sometimes in your software, you don't have an option to go for the simplest one. You have to go for some proprietary thing. That's a business requirement. And you have to figure out how to use it. Right, so market research data comes from various ways. Looking at it as a user base, looking at just Google search and finding out what's going on. Is it like in development phase or is like stagnant for a few years? Those type of things are something which is there's no straight answer to that. I think there are many ways you can figure it out. And doing a simple search will let you know, okay, whether project has to be active, there has to be a lot of users who are using it, good forums, good market support.
Do you think there are any kind of test tools which are available to test these aspects
of the usability? No, usability is very, very subjective, and that's where usability testing. So I'll talk about it in 5 minutes. Okay.
Is A/B testing something you do?
What's that?
A/B testing is there.
What is A/B testing?
Normally, like we give a text, how many clicks happen, and we do the research on that clicks, and according to that we change this. So there is the A/B testing that we can integrate with the.
So this is like a textbook example of clicks, number of clicks, right, or number of steps. So in a wizard, you always talk about you need to finish your workflow as soon as possible. Right? Don't try to have multiple things. Now it's a little different. Market research data, as per this book, if you read this book, it says that user likes the perception of moving ahead. So let's say you are stuck in traffic. Okay, 10 kilometers is the stretch, and you are stuck in traffic twice, 15 minutes. Okay, you get stuck 15 minutes, then move, stuck 15 minutes, and then move, and reach your destination. Instead of that, if you are stuck 5 times, 2 to 3 minutes, which one is better? The second one, because you are still moving. Okay, you like the perception of movement, you like the perception of forward moving. So in the same way, if you have a wizard where you have a lot of complex things going on, instead of people waiting for on one screen for a longer time, you can give a sense of moving. So same thing applies to clicks. Sometimes 2 clicks will result into a very complex architecture. You need to move everything into the top level, which may not be possible. So what you need to do is 2 clicks can lead to the most important pages. Below that, you can still have multiple clicks. Not every page can be maximum 2 clicks. So I mean, these are all.
The A/B testing is not specifically to determine the clicks. It's basically when you cannot decide whether this UI is better or this UI is better. Then you make both and you just deploy. And because now we have all this cloud solution, so what you can do is 50% of users will see this, 50% of users will see this, and you just later to see, for example, it's e-commerce site, then you just make 2 flows and see which kind of users bought it. Sure. That way, just look at those results.
Okay.
Then you know which kind of UI user will use more easily.
Sure, that's
So
good.
kind of usability testing, but directly with your users.
Okay, that's sure. So yeah, that's when it comes to usability testing. When you test often and test more. And there are some things I'm talking about. Let me take this motion.
So in the first couple of slides, we talked about the definition of user experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the definition of user experience being it is specific to a person, and user experience is something that the way we perceive it. So it has to be different for different persons. So
sure.
How do you go about thinking with it? Because there's no one specific answer which everyone will like.
So that's where your usability testing comes into play. Right? You need to increase your range of people who are testing your UI. Right? You have to look at different. So you have something audience in mind when you design a UI. Right? You know that okay, these are my target audience. Okay, so your target audience, you need to get more people from the entire spectrum. That's the only way to get as many feedback as possible. People who have not used it before, people who have used it, but people who are technical, people who are not technical. So you need to increase your spectrum of the users, people who can use this.
Also, then we face this challenge of whatever is intuitive for one person is not intuitive for other person.
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely, and then you design for. So normally we end up designing for people who are the layman. I mean, they are the most layman, and they would not be technical. But that's not bad because you need to also look at, again, it has to come from a requirement from one of your, maybe some PLM or somebody will say, okay, this is my target audience. At least you need to know that, right? It's not like an app, right? You put it on Play Store or put it on, say, iTunes Store and then anybody can download, right? Software, if you're writing, you at least know, okay, who are your customers? The customers are people who are sitting in bank, doing the operation, people who are using it on day-to-day life for general purpose or what? So I mean that has to be increased.
Like today UI UX has changed a lot. Right now we are trying to push directly to the user. So but still I find some areas like end user license agreement or terms and conditions. I never have gone through
So
the
end user license agreement is one thing which is supposed to be obvious, it's supposed to be very vague, not obvious. And this is the biggest lie in the world, that I accept the license agreement. I have read the license agreement and I accept it. You never read it, right? It was too long. So there are some initiatives on how to reduce the license agreement to manageable and making it simpler. But that's the legal requirement. And when it comes to legal requirement, it's always the language is very, very complex. So from what you can do here is, from your UI point of view, I'm not saying you remove the legal requirement because it's not possible. From compliance point of view, make it simpler. Give, let's say, 4 or 5 lines which gives the summary and give a link to it to actually know more about this. Look at this. So you are complying to it. At the same time, you are also helping people to understand the basics of this. Say, for example, if your license is about, okay, you can use it for universities for free, but you cannot use it for commercial use. You say it so. You say the software is free to be used for academics, for your personal use, but it's not free to be used for commercial use. You say so, and then you link to a bigger licensing licenses. That's what
because many times we won't understand where we are ending up. We simply accept the terms.
Absolutely.
So that is what happens.
So one question, like you mentioned that the design should be such that there is a minimum amount of distraction. Like user is focused more on your content. But typically in an internet application, due to some business demand, you have to sell out some of your space to some third-party content for advertising or something else. And at times that creates a nuisance for your content. I mean, that is a distraction from your point of view.
That's a trade-off, right? So
how to control that?
See, again, there are few.
I can answer that.
Maybe you can answer.
No, you should just avoid that. You try Flipkart or Amazon. There are so many advertisements and everything is there. But the moment you say buy now and you go to the next page, everything is gone. You can't even cancel your order unless you really search for the link. You can't even go to the same product and see the details. Everything is disabled. The only thing for you is to put your credit card number or just move forward. If you really have to go back, you use the browser back. So because they want you to focus on that action and finish your order.
Now let's say you have a blog, personal blog, and you want to make some money. So you have to do some AdWords and put some ads, right? So that's
No, how to place it at a position where it creates very least distraction.
So but least distraction means less money, right? That's also there, right? In this case. Yeah, but then there are other ways,
You
right?
can choose that. You can choose where the ads appear on your website. You can't choose which ads, but you can choose where they appear.
Yeah, where they are placed. So at least don't. It's not like you put 5-6 ads one after another. You put few ads, top banner ads, side ads. Again, don't put flashing ads, right? Things which are flashing. That are distracting, right? You look at Google. So Google is using this text-based ads on the right side. Sometimes you just ignore it. We are so used to it now that we just ignore it in the search result. We just don't even look at the right side and see what's there. So, but they are there. I mean, if you want to click, you can go to a site. So I think we are almost out of time. Maybe 2 minutes and just 1 minute.
From the UX perspective, is there any kind of effective index kind of calculations or standardization kind of thing? I have no idea about that. That's why I was asking.
UX is very, very subjective, and there are various ways to design user experience. User experience for a car dashboard is different than user experience for your mobile phone. So you need to what's the process? Sorry, so I think I can talk about it a bit after this. If it is in the break. So okay, just very quickly in 2 minutes I will just talk about the first one. So usability testing is something we should do as soon as possible. So if you are following agile model, try to do it maybe at least once in a month and alternate months. Maybe keep aside maybe an hour or 2 per sprint. So the trick here is get people who have not seen the UI or who are not developers or testers, right? And once you have them testing this, after the test is testing, you list on the feedback, and then this feedback goes to your backlog for the next sprint. Next sprint you prioritize that, pick up few of these things, pick up let's say top 5. So that way you need to have incremental quality. Your UI, your user experience becomes incrementally better over a period of time. Instead of doing it towards the end of the release, that's not always possible, because by that time your everything is code is frozen. You cannot do major changes. Sometimes user experience, if you change, does not mean just changing the UI. It also means changing some flows. Can mean design changes. Can mean sometimes architecture changes as well. So here the simplest trick is do it in every sprint. Sprint maybe an hour or 2, and then build it backlog, and then prioritize it. Pick up top 5 or whatever. Designing for mobile device it's always about trade-off. You have very small from a set of very small real estate, and sometimes you don't have to worry about your mobile application looking exactly the same as your web page. Your mobile application can be the mostly used use cases then whatever is there on the website. One example, there can be many examples like this, but so our trade-off. You need to look at what's important for the user, then whether it should look at a pick off the website. And accessibility is not an option anymore. Accessibility is about, maybe anybody has worked on here on 508 compliance accessibility, creating UI for people who are like disabled. Internationalization also comes into that. Accessibility also making UI where you can change font, you can make it bigger, contrast and things like that. It can also do reading, like your screen reader should be able to read the text and things like that. So all text, for example, all text we don't use very often. Right? All-text, the main reason of all-text being there is your screen reader can read your, all the components. These are some thoughts, which you need to look at when you design a viewer. So hope I was clear about this, and I help you understand some insights into how to design better UI. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Nishant.